Coming up on this episode of the Dive Podcast.
When did you last tell your fellow man I love you?
I don't even think it has happened.
I think after this episode you have to change.
I'll try.
Try harder.
Yeah.
I love you, bro.
Love you too.
Exactly.
That's simple.
Yeah.
That's simple.
Exactly.
Yeah, bro. Me, I call it that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be something that's wrong. Like when I'm worshiping, I'm crying.
I'm not talking about that.
No, you said crying. So
They've coined the term obey me Sue for us. So it's not easy. Yeah.
We are going through a lot.
It's not easy.
We see it every day. A lot of men go into depression. They can't open up to people and they end up taking their lives.
Hello and welcome to another installment of the Dive Podcast, where we pause, breathe, and dig deep beneath the surface of conversations you usually don't want to have. Today, we open up a topic that usually stays locked behind silence: male vulnerability. What does it look like for men to say, "I am not okay"? Or how do men even process grief, pain, or joy in a world that too often rewards emotional suppression? I'm sure you're wondering where Nadia is, right? Don't worry. I am Benjamin Grant and I'll be your host for this episode. So don't worry at all if you don't see Nadia. I'll be your chaperone as we shoot the breeze through this conversation. And with me in the studio, I have three amazing guests. We have Kojo Nyanywe, a cross-media storyteller and founder of Good News Limited, a platform that celebrates African culture through powerful fusion of film, fashion, and art. Also, we have Bediako Kwame. He is a civil engineer in road construction who unwinds with video games, good food, and music. Last and definitely not the least, we have Christopher Akoto-Lamte, a civil engineer by profession and a proud old boy of Mfanspim School. But beyond blueprints and building blocks, Chris is someone who deeply loves introspection. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you're ready for us. This is our guest for this episode, Male Vulnerability. Gentlemen, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
And I'm sure by the time I finish reading your bios, you know why we gathered all of you here for a topic like this, male vulnerability, right? So once again, you're welcome. Before we start, I would like us to have what I call a very quick fire assumption test, right? So some small game, if you would, into this episode. So I read a statement, you just say true, false, or it depends. Then we'll unpack a few. Is that fine?
Sure.
it depends on all the answers, right?
Anybody can go.
Yeah, so I would direct the questions to each of you.
Okay.
Right, so I'll start with Kojo since he's sitting next to me.
Are you going to do that a lot?
Oh, yes, because you are sitting right next to me.
It's okay.
So the first one is real men don't cry.
False.
Can you explain?
Oh, you want us to get into it?
Exactly, yes.
If
So
like
we'll
go-
unpack a few of these
Right.
questions, yeah.
Oh, okay. So we're going to go straight
Into the point.
That's great. Don't cry and see.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, from the perspective of real men don't cry, it's an unfortunate trope that's been happening.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, the perspective is that a man is supposed to be strong, not malleable, you know, very brittle, you know, and can go through anything. But even if, it's a good thing I have some engineers here, but if you look
True.
at typical materials that are strong, brittle, and not malleable, when a certain force is exerted on them, they break.
Yeah,
They don't just break into two pieces, they actually shatter.
true.
So you find out that there's actually strength in being soft sometimes, because what that means is that you will bend and you can come back into shape.
Yeah.
So that from that perspective, you can see that you have to be soft sometimes. And there's also something that talks about how actual humility is.
Mm-hmm.
Humility is also a type of strength in the sense that you're not humble because you are weak. You're humble actually because you're strong. I mean, let's pick countries. Russia and the USA have never been to war just yet. Okay, well, in the past. But they've not been to war just yet because they are both superpowers.
Mm-hmm.
What is checking the peace is not the weaknesses on both sides, but it's the strength on both sides because it's going to mayhem. Right? So when you pick it from that perspective, you see that even Jesus Christ, not seeing himself as God, humbled himself to die. Strength comes from that. Humility comes from strength and not weakness.
Come on.
So you see, from that perspective, when you see men do not cry, then you're actually doing yourself a disservice. Because how would you apply, because you have to apply based on the balance, how would you apply strength in certain areas, softness in certain areas, weakness in certain areas? And more especially, you are not a man of your own.
True.
You actually are not, you're not Batman. You know, there are things that will bring you down that you cannot handle. And it is in submitting your weakness for other people to help you is when you find strength. So yeah, sometimes you have to. You have to cry. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Kuju.
You're welcome.
So we'll move to Hillary.
Yeah.
Right? So the second question reads, a man must always have the answers. True, false, depends.
False.
False. All right. I wouldn't let you explain that, right?
Okay.
We'll move on to the next one. So yes, Christopher, it's weak to ask for help as a man.
False.
False. I want you to explain that one.
God did not create us first to live independently. Even when God wants to even move in the affairs of, in this world, he does it through men. As human beings, we can't exist by ourselves.
True.
We don't have the answers to everything. That's the truth. So if you don't have, it's just unfortunate that society has made it seem that men should be the providers, men should have all the answers to everything. But in reality, that's not the case. So in our attempt to always try to live up to expectations, we keep on keeping things to ourselves. We keep on going into depression, being suicidal, and in the long term, the results is we see it every day. A lot of men go into depression. They can't open up to people, and they end up taking their lives. So we should, as men, we should take the initiative because the status has already been there. The status quo that men are supposed to provide. So we are the ones that are supposed to change that narrative. So we should, like, through mediums like this, educate the people that men are also humans. We have feelings. We can't provide everything. We don't have the answers to everything. So it's important that when you know that, okay, this is beyond your capabilities or your abilities, Charlie, ask a brother for help, ask a sister for help.
Exactly. I think that's very well said. As men, we don't have all the answers, right? So let's begin at the foundation. What does it mean to be a man to you personally? Beyond society's expectation of who a man should be. And Kojo, yes, as you said, I'm coming back to you.
Okay. That's a really interesting question because it's a big question. You know, it can be approached from different perspectives, but I'll use this one, right?
All right.
God was made in the image of man. Man was made in the image of God. And in that sense of a being, God is a being of responsibility. So in that same image, he made man. And that means that man is also made to be responsible. So you see that the first thing that he was asked to do was to tend to the garden, take care of creation generally. And so what that meant was that responsibility meant that he had to be in service to other things, right? So primarily, that's what it means to be a man. And so you find out that even in our image, everything that we have doesn't tend to itself; it tends to others.
True.
Your legs
Very
carry
true.
you. Your hands hold things. Your ears, hear other things. Even the things we make, like when we make a car, it's supposed to be in service for us and not for itself. And nothing in the world is actually autonomous. Oxygen. We give oxygen to trees. They give us carbon dioxide and vice versa. And so in the design of all things, we are made to be in service of others.
True.
So that's the main thing. What it means to be a man, that's the primary thing. But then it brings the question, who takes care of the man? Now that the man is taking care of everything, who takes care of the man? But this is the design. I am made in service of you without demand, so that you also service me without demand.
Could you wait? Relax. Take your time. Take it again because this is very good.
Yeah. So that's what it is. So the design is, who takes care of the man? The design is, as the man services others, others service the man.
Okay.
Right? And that's why communities and these type of things are important, because you bring value to someone so that they also bring value to you.
Yeah.
But then it's not dependent. It's not, on condition that because I do it for you, you do it for me. That's why I'm using the word without demand.
Yeah.
Right. So when you think about it, even in the hierarchy of the home, God, your wife, your children, you are the bottom because you're servicing all of those. But for them, your wife is also seeing God, my husband, my children, and she's at the bottom.
All right.
So that's the way it's supposed to be. So as a brother, I'll bring you value and then you bring me value. That's what it means to be a man, to be in service of one another.
All right. I think that's very good.
Yeah.
Right. So with that being said, is being a man very hard in our society? And I think I'll throw that question to Hillary, right? Is it very hard to be a man, to be your very true self?
First of all, a small rebuttal to what Kojo said. Batman is my favorite superhero, and I wish I was Batman.
Yeah, we all wish we were Batman.
Yeah, but then again, back to your question, I think it's not easy to be a man in society because we are presumed to be able to be strong. And even going back looking in the Bible, it said that what the Adam's rib was taken to make Eve. So from then we all have the notion that a man is supposed to be the founder. And then it's just a support system behind him. So it's not taking, like, a man's vulnerability is not taking much into consideration. Okay. So it's not easy to be a man in this like society.
At all, especially in Africa.
Yeah, not at all, especially. They've coined the term Obemensu for us, so it's not easy.
Obemensu, but we are going through a lot.
It's not easy.
But to Christopher, I think let's bring this home a bit, right? What were you taught growing up as a man that has formed who you are today? Any experience, probably?
Okay, so I personally, I always used to keep to myself. I don't know, I just found it difficult to open up to people and even share what I was going through. But then growing up, it was through my a very close friend of mine, Michael, who used to, like, everything. I'm like, this guy, why is he always telling me everything? And I realized that, okay, it's actually okay to be able to open up, to be able to say this.
That's true.
Yeah, my family too was very, like, they are quite open. You can walk up to them and share anything you want to, but I think it was more of like societal expectations. Growing up, the man, if you're not providing financially, the people don't see your worth. Exactly. I personally knew a friend who was unemployed for a while, and every morning he had to just leave the house because he felt like being at home was just a burden.
But I think that's a very good one, because as men, we are not given the opportunity to be our true self, especially when we are at our very lowest moment. So as you said, your friend who was unemployed for some time, he had to leave the house because he has no work. No money is coming in that lowest moment in his life. Nobody would even regard him as a man, So that will even take me to the next question. Hillary, right? I'm coming to you.
Yeah.
Can you share a moment where you had to look very strong outwardly as a man, but deep within you're breaking inside?
Okay, I'll go to this. Years ago when I was in university, so after university, my dad passed away. And it's fine, you're managing. And I tried to be, since I was the first guy in amongst my siblings and my mom, I tried to be strong for everybody and be like, hey, I'm hard, and make my face very stern. And then I realized that after a couple of weeks, I was just alone and I'll break down so bad. And I felt like I handled it worse than any of them, like after trying to be strong and not share how I was actually feeling. So after that, and I realized, no, like I actually have to take like my mental health serious. And then I know we shame therapy and then talking to people and then it's looked on weird in society. But after then I realized that you have to make your point to take it serious. So that's one instance in my life, like I learned to take mental health like very serious.
Wow. Yeah. I think this is very deep.
Yeah, kind
right?
of. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, it's fine.
Because I'll come to you, right? Looking back as a young child, what were you told as
Why are you saying looking back, bro?
Yeah.
Please, allow
it. Even now, right?
Keep going.
What were you told as a young boy about emotions in the African society?
Well, I grew up in an amazing family.
Tell me.
My dad, well, that's interesting. My dad was who people used to threaten their children.
Okay.
Right? So like if somebody wants to punish their child, they'll send you to Mr. Knife. That's his nickname. And my dad was a teacher at the time, so he was like just famous for just having different ways of disciplining children. So you can imagine us.
Mm-hmm.
But that also put us in a straight arrow.
Yeah.
Like me, my brother, and my dad have the same handwriting because of that type of training.
Okay.
So my dad was stern in that direction, and then my mom brought the ease and the softness. But sometimes they switched roles. And I think that's one of the things that I could see. They switched roles in the sense that it got to a point I dreaded my mother punishing me than my dad. Because that means that, bro, it's a whole different ball.
Yeah.
Everybody's come to intercede.
Yeah. But what that also built with us, like as a siblings, that my sister is like the eldest, then my brother, and then myself, and then I have like baby sisters after me, was that we were sharing. And before I came like 8 years later. My siblings knew the terrain. They knew how to handle my parents. They knew like, this is what you should do. As long as you stick with this, you'll be fine. As long as you do this. So there was that support already in the family. And by the time me and my siblings rallied up, then we and our parents also became great.
Okay.
So ever since we were children, like we had a great relationship with our parents. You could talk to them. You could, when you had a problem, you could discuss with someone. But for me, my brother has been the point, like the anchor point for everything, because he was my first mentor. He would buy shoes for you so that you look like the drip kid in school.
Yeah.
He would take you to like carnivals and stuff like that. And he, without even saying a lot of the things that he would impart, he just did them and I just followed suit.
Okay.
So when he went to high school, he had a scholarship in school. I was like, nah, but if I get to high school, I have to get a scholarship, like, because my brother did it. When he finished, he went to tech. I was like, nah, when I finish, I want to go to tech, because my brother did it. When he finished, immediately he started his service. I was like, over here. And when I was like, well, I want to do it. So I had that, the blueprint to follow. Mm-hmm. And so it wasn't challenging for me to go through life in certain areas. There were parts that, they fell off. Like one of the things that I always say is that I wish, we were taught finances when I was young, like way younger.
Yeah.
Then I had to figure it out later on. But there are other things that my family has always been supportive with regards to our emotions. We always have these conversations. We are one. That unit is necessary. And we wouldn't have had that if we didn't have the foundation of my parents.
Okay.
And they wouldn't have had that if they didn't have their foundation of their parents.
Exactly.
Because they built on the shoulders of the people who came before them.
True.
So,
true.
Unfortunately or fortunately for me, I've had a great upbringing with the guys.
I think probably that has resulted into the man you've become now, or you're even becoming. Yeah. So I would zoom into Christopher, right? To you. Why do you think society finds it very hard to give men their flowers or even acknowledge our struggles? Is it because we are men? By default, you come into this world and you're a man.
Yeah, right? by default, everybody expects that you are the Superman, as he said. Mm-hmm. I think, a few weeks back, a man lost his job. He didn't lose his job. He was complaining about his salary. I think it was on Twitter. Yeah, and he was like, the salary is too small. And I think they eventually sacked him. And people are like, why is he complaining? Then. But like, as a man, everybody expects you to, like, you shouldn't complain about anything. You should always have solutions. And I think it's more like it's a systematic things that have built over the years. So it has been that's the mentality people have. It's going to take a lot of work to like rewire people's mentality, people's perception about these things.
True.
And I think avenues like this also help. Because I know a lot of guys who are willing to like seek therapy now compared to like the past. At first, people are like, men don't want to seek therapy and all of that. But now, because there are avenues that have been provided, a lot of therapy is available for men now. So men actively want to seek therapy. But for the society, I just feel like it's more like things that have been harbored over the years, and it's very hard when it comes to culture. It's very hard to change people's mindsets. So it's more like a culture thing. Yeah,
very true, and I really, really agree with whatever you said about that. So to the main thing, I want us to go into the vulnerability aspect of things. What does it mean for a man to be vulnerable? Is it okay for a man to be vulnerable? And I'll start with Hillary. Everybody's going to share their thoughts. So I'm starting with Hillary.
It's very okay for a man to be vulnerable, in as much as society sees it the other way.
Mm-hmm.
It's very okay for a man to be vulnerable, because I feel like in open and sharing, it fosters relationships, whether with family, your spouse, girlfriends, wives, whatever relationship are awake. Opening up fosters a lot of relationships. So I feel it's very okay to open and share.
But I'll come to you. What does it mean? Like, what's the meaning of me, Benjamin Grant, being vulnerable as a man?
That's a really okay. I think I would use an example.
Sure.
It puts you in a position that you do not see coming. It's actually an asset. And the example is this way. I have a friend quite recently. He was dating this young woman. I think a lot of us can relate to this. Well, I don't know. Everybody has had breakfast before at some point. But some people are exempt. Some people don't even have exes, but it's all good. But he dated this girl for 5 years, and they went through a lot of things together. But he never met her parents because he was from a certain tribe, and they didn't accept that. They wouldn't accept that he would marry their daughter because he was from a certain tribe. And eventually they broke up. And it broke him. It broke him for like 6 months on. He was still going through it. He met the lady again randomly, and he just like spiraled again.
Yeah.
Like deep spiraling. And so we had a conversation about it, and I was able to help him because the same thing happened to me.
Please share this one.
No, the same thing happened to me. The same thing happened. The exact thing. I'm from a certain tribe. I was dating someone, and I was ambushed, and basically the relationship couldn't continue because they wouldn't accept that I was married into that tribe. But when I was going through it, I spoke with my pastor. I remember there was a time that I was crying in the car, and my dad was right there. But he was
crying.
Like, "Oh yeah, Charlie, did it? It's like like a while ago." And I was like, my dad is not even seeing what I'm going through. Like, why is I was pissed that I was, but I spoke to my pastor about it, and the sum of everything he said was that, look, there are other women in the world. You find someone else. But because of that worth of information or that experience that I had, I was able to help someone who was going through the exact same thing.
Exactly.
And I wouldn't have been able to do that if he didn't share it with me, if he didn't open himself to me. And it wouldn't have happened to me also if I didn't open up to someone else. So eventually I told him that, bro, you've been given a gift, because the drive that you would use for the things that you want to pursue right now will be nothing compared to what you would have done before. Now you have a reason. And I come from the perspective of intentions can be negative or positive as long as you get to the results. Then you can switch up when you get to the results, but we can get into the nuances of that because that's debatable. But all I was saying is that he's been given a gift, but he wouldn't know the way to navigate all these things if he decided that, Charlie, I'll just stay in my corner, watch some anime and figure it out on my own. Or he'll go on or just go on this excursion of being with other women and just, destroying himself even worse. But simply because he opened up to me. And not just opening up to me, and he had no idea that I'd gone through the same thing before. But when he opened up to me, he realized that, bro, you're not the only one going through this. And that's the thing about communities. Everything that you think that you're going through, you think you're doing it by yourself. Nah, bro.
Somebody did.
Somebody has gone through it before and can help you navigate it.
That's very true.
You don't have to learn by experiencing it. You don't have to figure it out. Like, somebody can just show you the hack, and then you'll be fine. So open up.
Yeah, to touch on that, as you said, community is always available, but the first step is just to admit to yourself that this thing has really gotten to me.
Yeah,
you just have to know that, okay, this one day I can't do it by myself. I just have to open up. Once you open up, you'll be surprised at the number of people you see they go through. Yeah, so that's how it is.
But you see, men, we don't talk. We don't easily open up.
Okay,
right?
well,
How do we help ourselves to open up?
First of all, let me chip in. First of all, I just think the stigmatization has to reduce. And it's a cultural thing. It just has to reduce because, example, let's say somebody's going through something, and then the first thing they suggest for you is that, hey, wait there, just all call gym. You have to go to the gym. Take your heartbreak to the gym. But like it's just the way they are trying to help you, but not in the right way. They are not doing it in the right way. They are trying to help you to try to like fall your pain into something profitable by just saying, hey, wait there, Kojimo, you get it. But
I have a rebuttal for that, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm listening.
Because the truth is they are trying to help. It's just that they are not going the
right way.
Yeah.
Because when you think about it, and this is the formula with which we run 1,000. Men bond through challenge and activity and pain. If I find out that the two of us have been through the same thing before, I'm like, nah, this guy relates.
Yeah.
And that's why they're asking you to do these things, because once you, and this is something that they actually use in the military, once you go through some type of pain together, you form the rapport that would open you up to talk to each other.
Okay.
That's true.
So you realize that you are gym bros, you start lifting weights, and then you're going through Charlie, the 3-plate squats and the 4-plate squats, and you're going through all of that.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time before you start talking to each other. So unlike women who can talk to each other quite easily, men need that challenge as an avenue for them to open up. And it's a great thing because that's the formula we use at 1,000. Typically, if you just bring men together, we'll talk about money or women or stuff like that. Sometimes some mundane things, not often, but sometimes. But the way we do it is that we'll go through an activity first.
Okay.
So the first one we went quad biking. By the time we were done quad biking, we were all excited and we were jamming and everything. And then we started grilling the chicken and frying the fried yam. Bro, we opened up
easily
and talked for like 3 hours about all sorts of things. And people were talking about how their women were supportive when they were going through a time of trial. We're talking about how they had a problem with their father, but they found out that their father was in jail and they had no idea about it. It opened up. So that's the avenue. So they are saying that go to the gym, but it's just that they are not telling you the full picture.
Yeah.
It's just for you to go through the challenge so that you'd shed, all the skills and then open up and talk about it.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's very good.
Yeah,
right.
I
So through these avenues, men get to open up.
Yeah.
Right.
So basically, we are supposed to be like more intentional about it.
Yeah. So do the sports, do the activity, hang out, do something together, and then you open up.
But I also don't understand why more of the shaming in quotes come from the men.
It's
and the ladies. Yeah.
Because your male friends are the ones most likely to even laugh
tease
at
you. Exactly.
Let me ask you guys a question. Would you rather your fellow brother shame you or a lady shame you?
I think my fellow brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other way it tends to be more painful. And it's just our way. It's unfortunate and it can be done in a more effective way. But it's the beginning. And we are now having the conversation. So it starts because they'll tease you and laugh at you, but they're probably going through the same thing as well. So it's that insecurity projecting onto you. But if you are both truthful, and that's why the activity is important, because by then, like, everybody is an open book now. Because another thing is that the activity will show your weaknesses. It will show, like, you're in the gym, right? You can probably bench like 3 plates. Like, look at the guy's the guy's cannons. Yeah, but somebody will come anew and he cannot even bench 1 plate.
Me.
Do you understand? But you help him, the progressive upload, and then you get to the point where he can do 2 and be like, oh man, this is exciting. In the beginning, you probably laugh at you, like, look at you, this measly guy, can't even lift 1 plate. But you help you nonetheless. So it's our way. It's not the most effective way, and there are better ways to do it. But I prefer that to the other way.
True.
All right, I think that's very, very good. Good submission from all of you, right? So dive in a little bit deeper, right? Since we have 2 engineers here and a creative, and I'm sure all of us are creative to some sort of extent, how has your creative work, whether being it a content creator, writer, filmmaker, engineer, helped you confront your own vulnerability? How do you use these outlets to confront how vulnerable you can be as a man? And I'll start with you, Christopher.
As
an engineer, in your daily work?
I'm not so sure about that.
Okay, so Hilary,
it was quite difficult for me to draw the line between like engineering and but then while I work, I have to do some sort of managerial people managing people, and then sometimes you have to listen. Yeah, even though the person may be spiraling or wouldn't be right, or you see a lot of people working in an environment, it brings about confrontations, and somebody may be vulnerable than the other and open up to you that this is so and so happening, or somebody may come to you that this is what is like going on in their lives. So you just listen. It has helped me to be able to listen to people opening up and not like judge as well, and offer like a listening ear.
Yeah, that's people. Very good.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So from what you said, I think the workplace you encounter different people, so you just have to know how to. Everybody has their own temperament, so you just know how to like balance working with people. So I think that also builds me up emotionally.
All right, Kojo, what about you as a filmmaker, as a creative?
That's a good. We did a film called Mandem. It's on YouTube. You can go and check my bio and watch it. So I'll tell you the full story. But what came out from that was that, you know, some of the things, we didn't set out to even collect the stories that we did. And the things happened in the moments where people started opening up and telling us some of the things that they shared. And one of the stuff that the guys shared, and this guy's like the guy who runs the place. He's like their boss, like not necessarily a boss, but he's like the kingpin, right? And he said something that, you know, because he had an estranged relationship with his father, and he didn't understand a lot of the decisions that his father made. But on the set, immediately, he realized that now that he has a daughter, he understands the challenges that his father went through.
Yeah,
you know. There are some things that you will not understand until you get to that point.
Very, very true.
You know,
yeah.
And just creating that avenue for him to have that realization is what the work that we do has done. Is we've created a situation where something that somebody would typically ignore, the person will come and reflect that, it's not every day that when I told my dad that I want cocoa, I want cake, or like there's no lights in the house, he needs to pay fees, that he could do it.
Yeah.
Because now that I'm here,
I understand.
It's not really easy like that. You know? So just creating these, because another thing is, you can preach from a pulpit or say something from anywhere, and it has imports. But the way film seeps into our psyche, the way music seeps into our psyche, things that have cultural input tend to have, you know, a higher, tend to give more value for these things than things that are just relayed this way. So that's another reason why we're having this podcast, because somebody's probably listening to this while he's in the gym, or he was cleaning or washing or something, playing it in the background, and they didn't sit up and say, okay, I'm going for this lecture. But they're just playing in the background. You realize that it goes into the subconscious.
Yeah.
And that's why everybody's creative. That's why we have to put out more things like this. Because the truth is, this conversation that we're having about male vulnerability, male mental health, we'll keep having these conversations in small bits until we permeate culture and it becomes normal.
Jeepers, that's very good. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Until it becomes normal, we won't have a change. Until people are normally get to the position where they can normally share their vulnerabilities, normally say they're having a problem, normally seek for help, normally say, I can't do this by myself. I need somebody else to partner with me for us to do it. Until it becomes normal, you know, this will never end. We'll keep having, like, the four of us will have this conversation again in a year or two or something. It will never end.
True.
But the way something becomes normal is that it permeates, you know, the culture.
Yeah.
You know, everything that we do. And at that point, you become like, okay. Now, I can easily say it, because now everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
And it's no longer a problem, so I can easily do it. So that's where we need to get to. It has to become normal. And it becoming normal means that everybody has to find a way to use it in at their job place, when they're managing someone, when you're talking to someone, when you're recording whatever you're doing, you're singing, you're like, put it in there, let it go in there so that it goes into subconscious on that level then.
I think straight from like they say basic school, we should start also pushing it like syllables around mental health so that it's inside you once you grow up. Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys. I think I'm enjoying this very, very much.
Hold up right there. If this chat on male vulnerability is hitting home, hit that subscribe button and stay logged in for more honest, unfiltered conversation. Enjoy.
Still on the topic of vulnerability and work, why do you think most men find their identity in their work than in God or probably other things, knowing very well that these things doesn't allow them to open up, right? Why do you think most
Can
of
you
us...
reframe the question?
I'm not getting...
reframe the question.
Why do a lot of men find their identity in their work, success, or anything other than God?
Okay.
Because I think the society rates men based on your wealth, on your status. If you're a man and you cannot provide financially, I mean, nobody looks up to you. I mean, there are a lot of saying that as a man, if you're born a man, life is already leading you 1-0. If you're born in Ghana, it's already 2-0. So yeah, a lot of men, that's the way they can get their security and they can feel secured. So if they are not able to provide for their families, their friends, and they feel like they are worthless. So
yeah. And is it okay for us as men to open up in public? If you could share an experience when you were able to open up in public with your vulnerability as a male man, at work, with your relationship, anything at all. Is it very safe for us to open up as men publicly?
Me personally, I don't think I'll open up in public because I don't know the type of reception I'm going to get. Whether the person will be opening to listen to me, the person will be judgmental. So I don't know. Me personally, I don't think, even though it might be healthy, I don't think I would like to open. I'll like a safe space or somebody I trust I could talk to, or people I feel will listen to me before I'll open up. I don't know if that makes sense.
So publicly, no.
No, I don't think I'll just
It's
open.
a matter of timing, actually.
Okay.
I mean, when you're currently going through the ordeal, you know, that's where your community is important. So you go to your friends, you go to your family, you go to your support system, and then you deal with it. And then by the time you found some type of solace or you have a solution, then you are positioned in a place where you too can be of help to others.
True.
So it's at that point that you can now also share.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Okay.
So let's say you're struggling with an addiction. It's not during the struggle with the addiction that you share publicly. You are sharing with the people that you know would help you go through that addiction and figure it out. But after you have won that struggle, or you are better equipped for that struggle, because lust is something that does not go away.
Yeah.
It comes in different grades as you grow older. Like,
true.
It will come in a different grade, it will come in a different way anyway. It doesn't go away. But now that you have that mastery at a certain level, then you can use it as a point of testimony to help other people who are now at the position that you were before. So it's a matter of timing, essentially.
Matter of timing. So it's okay for you to go public so far as you've mastered whatever you're going
Now,
through.
I'm using the word master very loosely.
Okay.
Yeah, using the word mastered very loosely, because I'm not saying mastered as in, now, Charlie, you if they put
untouchable.
If they put this thing in front of you, you'd be like, oh, this, you know? No.
But more like in a position to advise people.
Yeah.
All right. So we are going to have a freestyle section. I call it a creative freestyle. So describe male vulnerability as if it were a person, a color, or a place. The three of us, we are going to do this. We are starting with, could you?
Black.
Black.
The color
Why
black. Because it's stealth. Because it's stealth and it's low key and it's hidden in the dark.
True.
But when you shine light on it, it looks really good.
So what color will you give it?
That's what I'm saying, black. So when it's in the dark, it's hidden and it's stealth. But when it stands out in the light, it's like, it looks really good. It stands out. You know, it's clean. it still postures as strength, but then it looks good. So I'll choose the color black.
Color black. All right.
Yeah.
Hillary, what about
Wait,
you?
can you go again? Go again.
So describe male vulnerability as if it were a person, a color, or a place.
This is actually tough.
How tough?
Because I want to steal his take, but then I realize it's not.
Bro, yeah, Batman, bro.
And Batman too likes black, so
feel free.
That's what I was thinking about when I said it.
Come again?
Why black?
Because is black is I mean is universally accepted as a mourning, like a place of mourning and a dark time. But then, like as he said, you could make something out of black. Like you could shine light out of it.
Yeah.
So black is actually a very good answer, and I'll just like to copy what he said.
All right, that's very acceptable.
For a place, I'll say a beach. Because of the vastness of the sea and the stillness of the breeze.
Nice.
Because as men, we like to be quiet. We like to be our thoughts are always endless. So yeah, I'll say beach.
That's a very good one.
That's good.
But nobody attempted the please.
He said beach.
No, sorry, I meant the person. Yeah,
you said Batman.
No, Batman was stealing. Was copying, right? So
how about you?
Me, I'll describe it as a color, but I'm not going for black. Probably white, but just that we don't understand it yet, right? So white, we see things to be, when things are white, we feel like, oh, it's very clean. As men, we come into this world as babies, very innocent. So where the white comes in. But the moment you enter the society masks its ideas, its perception towards you and starts cleaning the white into something black. But since we started the conversation, since we are doing this often, this male vulnerability thing would have some substance. Right, so I'll say white, just that we don't understand it yet. It's very important.
I like the part about the end where you said it will have some substance, because white is the color from which all the spectrums come from.
Exactly.
You know, so all the other colors come from white. So yeah, there's a brightness to it as well. That's a really good one.
Thank you.
Next time you say here and be.
Don't worry, I'll do that. All right, so I want us to zoom into mental health and emotional struggles. We've touched on that, but in Ghana, only 2.8% of health expenditure goes to mental health, with limited male-focused mental wellness programs. Why do you think this is so? And if you can shed some common myths around men and mental health, I'll be so glad. Why do you think the Ghanaian society just allocates a very small portion of their expenditure to mental health for men?
Basically, society sees you as weak, so we don't really pay much attention to that. And I feel people too don't also have the resources to push that agenda. I know UGMC charges like, I think 120 cedis for each session for therapy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So people will just basically see us, as a man, why are you taking money to go to therapy? Like use it to go and buy some beer and drink or something. So it's just more like society will see you as weak. So yeah.
All right. So what do we think some of the common myths around men and mental health are? Hillary, could you, I don't know who.
Let me attempt to answer the question about the allocation of funds for mental health.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know how many of you have read Lee Kuan Yew's From 31st World, but typically, I mean, when a nation is on the come up, they tend to focus on the more, important things. And I'm using the word important very loosely, like roads, water, electricity, And we are still figuring that out.
Okay.
It's not something that has been locked in as a country just yet. And so it's quite logical that, the more soft needs of the country will not be catered to until we have all of these other things figured out. And so I don't think I don't even think it's just a matter of men. I just think we don't have the budgets for it just yet because there are other things that we need to take care of first.
Okay.
Because the thing is that once these things are settled, you realize that a lot of things will be handled. Like one of the problems, like if you're having bad roads, it's stressing you already. It's stressing you. It's causing the stress. Your water is not flowing. You're stressed. Lights have gone out. You're stressed. But when those things are done, then you can go to other levels. So I think that's probably why we are doing this. But I might be wrong.
You might be right too. Yes, Hillary.
Oh no, I was just saying I agree. It's basically down to resources because as in a country like ours where such things are not really prioritized, it's seen as a luxury. Some things like some basic health, like going to the dentist, talking to a therapist, is seen as luxury where other parts of the world, developed parts of the world, is normal.
Yeah.
So I think it has to do with where we are as a country. That's why it is how it is.
So with that, I want us to talk about support systems. So Kojo, you have the 1,000 where you help men through what you mentioned. How can we build safe spaces for men, especially those who have never encountered one before, when it comes to them being vulnerable with their fellow men?
Be intentional. Talk to people. I mean, this idea came up because my co-curator, Drew, came up to me. I was like, oh, there's nothing like this for men. Well, what should we do? I'm like, we did it. You should put yourself in a position to do it.
Okay.
And that's another thing. The more of these type of groups we have, the better. That's when it gets normal.
Yeah.
So if you're not able to do it on a scale of an organization or a community, just like with your friends, like the people right close to you, be intentional with them. Ask them what the problem is. Have you eaten? It's not that, what's wrong with you? And they're like, oh, they're okay. Like, God will provide. Like, if you can be the tool for provision at that point, be it.
Be it.
When your friend calls you and they're going through something, you don't have to ask for an explanation or give them a solution immediately. Just say, oh, Charlie, you can come to my crib. There's food in the fridge. We can play some video games. We can just hang. If you want to talk about it, great. If you don't want to talk about it, you just want to be in the proximity of somebody who understands and supports you, do it. It starts like individually. It doesn't have to be a huge thing or a big organization, even though those are also important. But like just in your circle, be intentional with your friends.
Be intentional. What about mentorship? Hillary, Christopher, what do you think?
No, I wanted to hit on that.
Oh, sure. Feel
be
free.
An agent of change. I feel like it should be easier for this agenda to be pushed because basically as boys, we are literally in a boys group one way or the other.
Yeah.
So if each group has one agent of change, it should be easier for us to push that agenda. So we should just be intentional about it. And
Hillary, do you think mentorship plays a pivotal role in this?
Mentorship when it comes to vulnerability, I don't know if to put it as mentorship rather than support.
Okay.
Because I feel like we all have to do better in support. Like let's say for instance, you don't speak to somebody often or you just speak on a surface level. Sometimes you could just pick up a phone and call the person like, is everything okay? How are you? Just the person might not open up, but the person knowing that somebody is willing to listen.
Yeah.
So not basically mentorship. I don't know how mentorship goes,
totally
but just
agree.
setting the basis for or opening up an avenue for somebody to come to you is a good way to look at it.
Recently, I saw this video where men were supposed to call their fellow men and just say, good night, I love you. Oh my goodness.
The reactions
so
were
wild
crazy
on social media. So you're saying I should pick up the phone and call you, Hillary. I'm not fine. I'm not okay.
Yeah.
And that's okay in our speech.
At first, I may feel, you see, if you watch those videos, a lot of the receptions were, hey, is everything okay? Like they were kind of weird towards about. But once you realize the person is serious, you kind of pay attention to it as well. That's how we men are. So
all right, so let's go into the Bible, right? Who in the Bible do you relate to most when it comes to emotional struggle? And this one, I would start with Christopher.
Well, I'll say a story from First Kings with Elijah.
Shoot.
And we all know Elijah to be audacious and all of that, calling fire and everything. But he himself, when when Delilah was after his life, he was even running for his life. Jezebel, yeah. He was asking God to take his own life. But when even God came to him, God didn't tell him like, oh, Elijah, get up and go and do shit. God and an angel provided food for him. He made him rest before showing him the next path to take. So even God is even interested in our well-being. So it's important to...
Very important.
Yeah.
You know, there's a story by this author, Paulo Coelho, a book called The Fifth Mountain.
Okay.
And he reimagines that situation of Elijah and Jezebel. And, you know, typically Jezebel is framed like some witch character. But he frames her as this gorgeous woman that Elijah could not resist.
Because I was so surprised. I'm like, oh, Elijah.
Yeah, he could not resist. And then he found out that, like, the way he was able to, you know, muscle his way through all the other people, this was different. Because the woman had enough charm to rule over a king.
Yeah.
You know? So that was part of his struggle as well. It's like, this is not regular. This is new to me. Because, like, this is
the
a whole
fact that
different
the
ballgame.
extent that you asked God to kill him, like, it was very serious.
And that was something that the devil uses very, very well. The devil doesn't show up with horns, bro.
Actually.
He shows up in the nicest way that you think, and then it will work.
Yeah, so could you, to you, what's Bible character?
Bro, I just...
No, you were piggybacking on what he said, right? I want your personal...
there's a lot of characters. There's a lot of characters that could relate to emotionally. Solomon, I talked about Solomon especially because there was a post about who would you like to sit with at a cafeteria, and there were different characters, and I was like, Jesus would probably be where the woman is sharing the food because then they like chew. But Solomon most especially because he dabbled. He did everything.
Yeah.
It was like, I will use myself as an experiment. I'm rich. I can do whatever I want. Try it with the woman. Try it with the, with the religions. Tried everything some. Yeah. But in the end, he considered all of it vain. And then, realized that like none of this is important except my relationship with God. So just that emotional roller coaster of using himself as an experiment so that we do not have to do that.
Solomon.
It's somebody that I can relate to because he dabbled.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. Hilary, I'm coming to you.
Oh, I thought you'd forgotten.
No.
So for me, I'll say Job, because I feel like he was the epitome of having it all and then losing it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think what was going through his mind, like having it all and losing it and getting so sick and then being given an opportunity by the devil. Just say this and then you are back. Like at the blink of an eye, somebody would have easily fallen for it.
Yeah.
If he was in the most vulnerable state, I would say I think he was in the most, out of the characters in the Bible, he went into the most vulnerable state and he was able to get out of that. So out of all the Bible characters, it's Job.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, Jesus too went through because doing all
the tempting and
Jesus Christ for a good
people are always
reason.
talking about you, backbiting, to even the point they crucified you. Yeah, Jesus too went through it.
I'm so sad because we are coming to the end of this episode. But before we go, I would love us to play this game again.
Hey.
Right? It's very simple. I call it When Did You Last? So you complete it.
When did you last?
So,
okay.
Yeah, so could you, since you are asking again, when did you last tell your fellow man I love you?
Oh, last night, bro.
Last night?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, last night.
Me and my boys, like, it's normal car.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
Hilary, what about you?
Interesting. That's why I don't remember. I don't even think it... I don't even think it has happened.
I think after this episode, you have to change.
I'll try.
We'll try harder.
Yeah.
I love you, bro.
Love you too.
Exactly.
That's simple.
Yeah.
That's simple.
Exactly. Yes, Christopher.
I think a couple of weeks back. Or a week ago or so.
That's nice.
Wait, can you use I miss your society for that? Because that we use it a lot.
No, I said I love you.
Okay, no problem.
So, Christopher, when last did you cry?
That's a tough one. I don't remember the last time I cried.
Hey, you're tough, pal. You don't go
unless
through
I'm yawning and tears will come in my eyes.
Okay. Could you?
Yeah, bro. Me, I cry all the time.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be something that's wrong. Like when I'm worshiping, I'm crying.
I'm not talking about that.
Yeah, no, you said crying. So because when I'm worshiping, I'm in a state of surrender.
Okay.
So like I can't do this on my own. You help me. And then sometimes the song just do kick you in some type level. Yeah. So yeah. Bro.
Okay.
But I mean, you won't find me crying for some frivolous reason.
All right.
Yeah.
For the good reasons.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Hilary.
But I don't remember, but I think there's periods where things are not going my way, how I envision. You see, when the year will start, you set goals and then you want to be here, and then you go back to the drawing board and you be like, hey, I've not reached you, what am I doing? And then you start thinking, and then you solve a little. But yeah, those things. But I don't remember the last time. But the last time I do remember that happening to me was during one of these moments.
Okay. All right. So the last question for this segment: when did you last feel truly safe?
Safe.
Yeah.
Safe as in like opening up to people, or
meaning kind of safe. We are talking about male vulnerability.
Yeah, I feel like generally now I feel safe than when I was much younger. Generally now I feel
because he's buff and he can be
exactly. That's what I was coming to
first, I couldn't talk to. I felt like I keep to myself, and I don't like talking, so I'm just quiet. But then I'm able to talk to my siblings, my friends, like, and open up. So I feel safe around the people around me, the community around me. So generally now I feel safe than when I used to be much younger and quiet, and then I don't want to talk to anybody. So generally I feel much safer now.
Okay.
I think same in this current period of my life. Me sitting here is even enough.
Oh, really?
Testament, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, this current period of my life.
Safe, man.
That's very lovely.
I mean, it's supposed to get better, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, we are ending this, but I would want us to do this mini reflection piece. So I want you to advise your 15-year-old self about male vulnerability. I'm starting with you.
Okay. It does get better, and then just open up. Once you open up to people and then you hear their sides, you realize that it's not that bad. It could be worse, but you have God by your side and people with you, so it will be okay.
All right.
That's it.
It will be okay. Kojo, what about you?
Yeah, don't hide. Don't hide. And lean into God some more.
Don't hide. Please don't.
Lean into God some more.
Exactly. Christopher?
We are all not going to get out of life alive. So make sure you live your life.
Can you repeat that?
You're scaring your 15-year-old self. You're scaring your 15-year-old self.
It's good.
I mean, life is not that. We are all going to die. We are not going to live forever. We are not all going to get out from life alive. So we should make sure we live our life. Yeah.
Quotables.
Yeah. That's very lovely. So I would want us to pick one of the cameras, right? What do you want men to pick from this episode when they watch? And not just men, because even to women, because eventually they will end up with these men. What is one thing you want them to pick from this male vulnerability episode?
I'll go last.
All right, then Christopher, you're starting.
Okay, so as men, it's okay to open up and just feel free, get a good support system, and just feel free to share. We should be intentional. It's very important. We should be intentional about it. Yeah.
You're very intentional.
Yeah, my take would be to like both genders. I feel like we all have an active role to play. So pay more attention, like, to those around you. Try and offer support and help in any little way you can. You may not know what you do, but the least thing you could do to save somebody. So just be more intentional and help people out. That's it.
Yeah. Whatever you look like, which one is my cam? Okay. Whatever you look like, whatever you feel like, God can use you where you are. That's the thing. You don't have to look strong for God to use you for strength. You don't have to be smart for God to use you for wise things. Whatever it is, as long as you're working hard, do not belittle yourself. God is a lifter up of men.
Yeah.
God is a lifter up of men. I think this conversation has been truly a good one. And All too soon, we come to the end of this Male Vulnerability podcast. But before we go, I would want to say a very big thank you to Kojo, Hilary, and Christopher for bringing your bold, honest conversation to this topic. And I'm very sure that every man who is going to listen to this, watch this, even to the women, you're going to take a thing or two and make sure that the man lives in a safe space. My name is Benjamin Grant, and till we meet again, make sure that you are diving deeper into the true conversations that matters, and make sure that you speak boldly about the things you go through as a man. So I see you again. Keep on diving. Bye.
All right. Thank you for watching.